Now at 10 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, President Joe Biden's son Hunter Biden convicted of all 3 felonies in his federal gun trial.
Then the president held a summit in Washington, D.C. today on gun safety. Tonight, his demands for universal background checks and more.
And a gator was spotted at the Riverside Duck Pond tonight. 25 News Now reporter Darius McCormick shows us what he saw after the pond.
We had some nice thunderstorms that rolled through the area. I say nice because a lot of people got some nice rain. We didn't have any severe problems. They are now moving down toward the coast and falling apart. What about tomorrow and what about the tropics? We'll be talking about that coming up in a moment.
And the boys are back in town trying to stay perfect at home in the early going. I'll have that in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
Victoria police arrested a 20-year-old man this morning. Zachariah Martinez faces a charge from Lavaca County of theft of a grave or human corpse or military marker. He is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of $50,000 bond.
Monday at 3:50 p.m., Victoria police arrived at the home in the 300 block of Lestero Street. After receiving an unknown type of call, authorities discovered a body located at the residence. They were later identified as 45-year-old Joshua Sanchez. Police say there were no signs of foul play, but the investigation is still ongoing. Now over in DeWitt County, deputies arrested a man Monday. That is 28-year-old Corey Gonzalez, charged with burglary of a home intending a sex offense. He's now at the DeWitt County Jail in lieu of a $50,000 bond.
Calhoun County deputies arrested a man Saturday. 36-year-old Blake McMillan faces 4 charges, including evading arrest with a vehicle and unlawful carrying of a weapon. He is in the Calhoun County Jail in lieu of $100,000 bond.
Another lawsuit in the horrific attack that left 19 students and 2 teachers dead at Uvalde Elementary 2 years ago. The victims' families filed legal action against FedEx and UPS. They accused the companies of multiple oversights when the weapons were shipped to the shooter. FedEx is accused of not verifying the buyer's age. The lawsuit also claims UPS aided in the illegal sale of a trigger system the shooter used, saying it failed to screen the package before it was sent. The families are seeking unspecified damages from both companies.
Let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. Now, we had some rain here, a little sprinkle.
Yeah.
Some viewers reported no sprinkles whatsoever. Mac, were you let down by the lack of rain tonight?
I thought we were going to get a really good downpour, and it rolled from Cuero down the highway and then just stopped at the county line, and we didn't get much. We've got some interesting video that was shot right here on Navarro Street, and got some big lightning coming through, so it was kind of interesting. But really, at the airport, we got nothing, absolutely zero in terms of rainfall. Well, tonight, all of that activity is now falling apart, going down to the Gulf Coast, and tomorrow it's leaving enough energy around here that we may have a few more. We'll talk about that and take a look at the tropics coming up in a moment.
Mac, thank you. Texas is suing to block the new Biden administration rule protecting access to perform gender transition procedures. The Texas Tribune reports in March the federal government said providers cannot deny these procedures to transgender people that would be provided to others for other purposes. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton says the lawsuit is over a new federal rule. It would require states to pay for gender transition procedures for transgender people through their Medicaid programs. It would also require health care providers to perform them. The University of Texas at Austin announced Tuesday morning that it will carry out disciplinary action against students who violated campus rules during pro-Palestinian protests on April 24th and 29th. UT did not specify how many students are facing disciplinary action. 57 people were arrested during pro-Palestinian protests on the UT campus April 24th. On April 29th, 79 people were arrested after a group of pro-Palestinian protesters again gathered on the South Mall. Law enforcement responded shortly after. Jurors convicted President Biden's son Hunter Biden on all 3 felony charges in his federal gun case in Delaware. In a written statement following the verdict, Hunter Biden said he was disappointed by the outcome but grateful for the support of family and friends. His attorney says they will continue to pursue, quote, all the legal challenges available, unquote.
So here is your viewer poll tonight. You can scan that QR code right there on your screen to vote. The question is, should Hunter Biden receive the maximum sentence of up to 25 years in prison? Yes or no? According to our results, it looks like 44% say yes, and the remaining 56% stand at no. Thank you for voting tonight.
3 people and a suspected shooter were shot at a food court in downtown Atlanta this afternoon. The shooting took place at the Hub at Peachtree Center Mall. Atlanta's police chief said the 34-year-old suspect had a brief altercation with someone and shot that person, then went on to shoot 2 other people. The chief said an off-duty Atlanta police officer engaged the suspect, fired his weapon, and took down the suspect. He says the person in custody is a convicted felon.
This has, like I said a few times, we've been on lockdowns for similar reasons. Has it ever been this close in vicinity? No. There's been campus ones that were over a mile away where we felt a little more at ease, but being this close, like pretty much on our property, it's very, very scary.
Police say all those who were shot were alert and breathing. The 3 victims were a 69-year-old female, a 70-year-old female, and a 47-year-old male. President Joe Biden is in Washington talking gun safety hours after his son was found guilty in his felony gun trial.
Now, President Biden is calling for universal background checks and requiring the safe storage of guns.
President Biden calling for changes to gun access in America, including a ban on assault weapons.
Who in God's name needs a magazine which can hold 200 shells? Nobody, that's right.
Biden speaking at a gun safety summit hours after his son Hunter was found guilty in his felony gun trial. The president not mentioning the verdict at this event, instead touting his record on fighting gun violence in America.
The year before I came to the presidency, the murder rate was the highest increase on record. Last year, we saw the largest decrease of murder in history of America.
Biden's appearance coincides with the FBI releasing new data yesterday showing violent crimes dropping 15% from January to March compared to the same time last year. The FBI says the number of murders dropped 26%, rape is down 25%, and robberies fell 17%.
You know, we still have issues with gangs moving around, going into to communities and getting in drug dealing, human smuggling, whatever it might be. And so the crime rate may then go up in a particular city while the rest of the country in general is going down.
Even with the drop in crime reported by the FBI, former President Trump says Biden's policies at the southern border are making America less safe. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Lawyers for disgraced former Thorano CEO Elizabeth Holmes will appeal her conviction before a California court today. Holmes was originally sentenced to 11 years in prison for defrauding investors and her failed blood testing company. She is seeking a new trial. Holmes' lawyers are arguing the judge in her case made several decisions during the 2022 proceedings. Holmes is serving her sentence at a minimum security facility in Bryan, Texas, and she's not expected to appear in court. A zoo in Brownsville is asking for the public's help to stop the illegal trafficking of endangered wildlife like monkeys across the border. Since March, the zoo there has been staffing night and day to try to keep alive those monkeys that were illegally smuggled from Mexico. Federal authorities sent a total of 18 spider monkeys and 1 howler monkey to the zoo. All the monkeys are part of an endangered species, and the zoo has reached out to other zoos to see if they can help care for some of these monkeys.
Cuero has a new city council member. Adam Arroyo was appointed council member at large at Monday night's city council meeting there.
He will fill the remaining term left by Emil Garza, who is now mayor of Cuero. Arroyo was a member of Cuero's 1987 state football championship team. He later played football at Baylor and was the athletic director and head football coach at Bloomington High School.
Monday morning, Victorian Parks and Recreation spotted an alligator swimming in the Riverside Park duck pond.
Officials say the gator was fairly small, but our reporter Darius McCormick says the gator is actually a little bit bigger than small. Is that right, Darius?
Yes, I'd say 6.5 to 7 feet is just a bit bigger than small. The City of Victoria and the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department captured the alligator earlier Tuesday afternoon. The city posted this image of her on their social media. They decided to remove the alligator from the pond. However, she was sent to a rescue farm to breed and live out the rest of her days. Although we're saying, see you later, alligator, the city says stay aware of your surroundings, especially with children and our pets. Back to you guys.
Darius, thank you. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today on
YouTube.
Yes. Miami police have one suspect in custody following yesterday's massive apartment fire. That's coming up on 25 News Now at 10.
Also ahead, health experts share essential water safety practices to protect children from drowning this summer. Miami police arrested a man in connection to a shooting and apartment fire that displaced multiple people. 73-year-old Juan Francisco was charged with attempted felony, murder, arson, and firearm charges. Investigators believe he shot a maintenance worker at the apartment building before setting it on fire. The cause of the shooting is still under investigation. The blaze at the Temple Court displaced 43 residents Monday morning. Police say the suspect is already a convicted felon. In 1992, he was found guilty of second-degree attempted murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault.
A high school parent in Wisconsin is charged with disorderly conduct.
This comes after a video shows him rushing a stage during a graduation ceremony.
Matthew Eddy, in his own words. That's him in a corner talking to a police officer seconds after he stormed the stage at the Baraboo High School graduation May 31st.
You're not.
Excuse me.
That's my
Where's Brendan?
Man, you better get up off
Where's
me,
Brendan?
man.
Where's Brendan?
Get away from me, bro.
No, don't.
After the interruption in that office, Eddy offered this explanation.
To block him from shaking my daughter's hand after the that she had to go through. That's it. I didn't touch him till he touched me.
But the video clearly shows Eddie is the one who initiates physical contact with Baraboo Superintendent Dr. Rainey Briggs. A district administrator asks why.
I'm not aware of allegations of Dr. Briggs doing anything to your daughter specifically. No, it wasn't him specifically.
Eddie expressed anger over what he took as a slight against his daughter during a previous meeting he had with district officials and claims that led to the confrontation on stage.
I want him to be able to shake her down because he does not deserve it from her.
Eddie did not specify the incident which led to the meeting with district officials, but said it was about potential expulsion. Over 200,000 Chrysler vehicles are being recalled because of a possible software malfunction. The recall includes certain model year 2022 Dodge Durango SUVs and Dodge Ram 2500 and 3500 trucks. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says a malfunction with the vehicle's anti-lock braking system control module could increase the risk of a crash. Dealers will update the software free of charge. Recall letters will be sent to owners in July.
Today, a federal judge struck down a 2023 Florida law that blocked gender-affirming care for transgender minors and severely restricted such treatment for adults. The judge ruled the state went too far when it barred trans minors from being prescribed puberty blockers and hormonal treatments with their parents' permission. He also stopped the state from requiring transgender adults to only receive treatment from a doctor and not from a registered nurse or other qualified medical practitioner. Governor Ron DeSantis' office is planning to appeal this ruling.
The official start of summer is just a few weeks away, and children are getting out of school for summer break. They did here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and this makes it the perfect time to emphasize water safety for children.
Drowning is the leading cause of death in children ages 1 to 4 years old and the second leading cause for children ages 5 to 14 years old, according to the CDC. Many infant drownings occur inside the home, specifically during bath time. To minimize stepping away, keep your baby within hand's reach and your bath supplies near you. Other important water safety practices include supervising children at all times when you're in or around any water. If you have a pool, a 4-foot fence with no handrails or footing surrounding it is the best protection. Make sure young or inexperienced swimmers wear a life jacket. Enroll children in an age-appropriate swim class. And lastly, ensure everyone at home knows how to respond to emergencies by taking water safety, first aid, and CPR courses. With this Medical Minute, I'm Em Nguyen.
There's a growing number of water bursting from abandoned oil wells in West Texas. You can read the Texas Tribune story on our website, crossroadstoday.com.
We got some nice showers this afternoon. It came right down Highway 10 and then crossed into Cuero, and Cuero got all of our rain. We didn't get much here in the city, but will we get any more? That's the question, and we'll take a look at that coming up right after this. Well, good evening, everybody. 79 degrees right now. It was actually kind of nice when the clouds rolled in. We had a little lightning here and there and heard the rumble, but we didn't get much in terms of rainfall. Our high today was 94 right at about 2 o'clock before the clouds rolled in. 92 is our average high. We've been as warm as 103. Let's take a look at it again. There you see the big line coming down all the way through the crossroads, and it's now falling apart as it moves past our area. It actually began way up here in the hill country. It crossed the I-35, then crossed the 10, and then moved into our region. It was a good rain, garden variety rain, no severe weather, no big hail, none of that. The heaviest activity seems to have gone down here. You can see it right about there and dropping southward into the Laredo area. Well, the reason we had anything at all today is because the heat dome actually gave us a little bit of a break. It dropped a little bit farther south. It allowed the pressures to lower up here. That's why we had this low, producing that shower activity. But wherever this red dome is, very little, if anything, is going to happen under there. So here's our last few pictures as of 10:22 p.m. It's all down there in Port Lavaca. I don't know that you're getting much in terms of rainfall, but that's going to be the end of it for tonight. Tomorrow is another day, and we may actually have a better shot at getting some of that activity. Here's Future Tracker. We're going midnight tonight, going into Wednesday. You can see how we're fairly quiet here, but some rumbles of thunder will continue out in far western areas. Now, tomorrow we have the same situation. They pop up there, and then we watch and wait to see if they come down into our area to see if we get any additional showers. I mean, then that'll be it. That'll be it, because the pressure is building back up, and then it's going to go away. Our chances are going to go away. Now, of course, you may have heard, oh, this is a good map. This is a good map. Watch this. Here's the city. Look at that. Cuero, 1 to 2 inches right there in the purple right here of the county line. It gets to the Lentz Parkway and stops right there. And it goes around. It went around. So interesting developments. All right, the tropics are getting busy, folks, and in the next 2 weeks, we've got some interesting stuff. First, the short term, we have an area of low pressure developing right about here. It's just south of Florida, and it's going to be a huge problem for Florida. See, it's right about here over the Yucatan, then it's going to drift up in this area. This is already an invest. That's shall we say, the first level, or level 1, where they have to go in, fly through it, and investigate to see if there's a circulation. But all these squiggly lines over here, those are the computer models that tell us where it's going to go. When it's a jumble like spaghetti like that, that means it's not going anywhere. It's just sort of wandering around here. And so a tremendous amount of rain is going to be falling in Florida in the 10 to 15 inch range. So they're going to get flooding without a named storm. Scattered showers again tomorrow afternoon. In Cuero, also isolated showers as well. We are going to look for showers again one more day, and then hot and steamy as we get to the weekend. And of course, because of all the activity out in the Gulf, we're going to have to add a chance for showers early next week. That is your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Mr. Zach Brown with sports.
Thank you, Mac. The Generals back home at Riverside, where they have not lost this year, and new rules for the UIL and what that means for sports outside of football. I'll have that in sports. The Victoria Generals got their first road victory of the season, beating the Gumbo Gators. Now tonight they return home where they have not lost yet. Tonight on the mound for the Victoria Generals, this is Jonathan Valdez, and this a swing and a miss for the third out of the first inning. All early signs point to him being on tonight. And as for his run support, we got plenty of that in the second inning. This is Riley Bender who gets things started off with a leadoff double down the left field line, and a few pitches later, he would be brought home on a ball smoked over the right fielder's head off the bat of Josh Arquette. Back-to-back doubles give us the first run of the ball game. The Generals having fun at Riverside. Then the Generals with 2 runners on, double steal to throw down to second, and the ball's thrown away into center field, gives us another run, and they kept that line moving. Runners at the corners. That ball called fair. 1 run scores, and Coach Oro's going to send his second runner to the plate. He scores as well. It is 4-0 in the bottom of the second inning, and 2 more runners able to reach, and they have loaded the bases and batted around. This is Riley Bender, who started the inning with the leadoff double. He goes opposite field, and he's going to just miss a grand slam, but it's a bases clearing 2-out triple to cap the 7th spot in the second inning. Generals lead 7-0 after 2 innings of play. Bad weather put the game in a slight weather delay. They have since resumed play. The score is currently 7-3 in the middle of the 5th inning. The UIL met today to approve or disapprove certain proposals today, and now we can talk about what they did approve. Beginning next school year, there will be divisions when it comes to the playoffs in classes 2 through 6A, volleyball, softball, and baseball for classes 4 through 6A, soccer, and all of basketball. And all this means is that 4 teams in each district will still qualify for the playoffs. That does not change, but the 2 schools with the largest enrollment in these districts will be bracketed in Division 1. The other 2 will be bracketed in Division 2, essentially doubling the number of state champions in each sport, pretty much like we already see in football. Out in the Major League circuit tonight after last night's awful loss, the Astros trying to bounce back with a much-needed win in San Francisco. They currently lead 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. RBIs from Altuve and Bregman have the Astros up 2. Ronel Blanco on the mound for Houston. He ate more hot dogs than anyone for 16 years, and now he's saying no more. Joey Chestnut will not compete in this year's Nathan's Famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest. Instead, he is representing a rival brand that sells plant-based hot dogs. Major League Eating doesn't seem pleased with the decision. The organization issued a statement saying it wanted to let him compete in that new eating contest, but also participate in the Nathan Showdown. That is it for your sports. Donna, Karina, back to you.
You know what the rest of the competitors said when they found out Joey Chestnut was out?
What they said.
Hot dog.
Alrighty, thank you, Don. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, we're going to take a last look at your weather. Plus, a bold pirate steals a man's package the second it rang as delivered.
expecting his brand new gift when a bold porch pirate stole it right as it was being delivered. Security camera caught the thief stealing the package. Check this out. A new Apple smartwatch right in front of a FedEx driver. Here he comes. And took off in a blue vehicle. He filed a police report, and investigators are currently working on the case. The man's own investigation led him to discover the watch being sold on Facebook Marketplace. AT&T has since blacklisted the device so it cannot be activated.
That was bold.
Yes. Did you hear the one about a Pennsylvania pastor and a nun who went skydiving? Yeah, they did. As part of a fundraising challenge, the two agreed to make a leap of faith. What other kind of leap could they make? If the kids of the youth ministry program reached their fundraising goal of $15,000, which they did. So the two skydived from 1,500 feet and landed safely to a crowd of cheering church members. All of the money raised will go toward the church's youth program, which serves preschool children through young adult-aged individuals.
Aw,
nice
cute.
Landing there. Nice job on that. I don't know if I could ever
That's on my
skydive.
bucket list.
It's on your bucket list?
I want to do that.
I would just prefer to have the bucket. I mean, that would be my list. My
Bucket with
favorite
ice,
bucket.
thank you.
Bucket with
That would
these
be
days,
good
yes.
enough,
Bucket
yeah.
with ice, but no bucket full of rain
Well,
tonight. for us.
no rain fell in the bucket tonight here in the city. We got rain around the area, but the city sort of missed out. But we do have a chance at more activity tomorrow. Kind of the same stuff. Starts out west and rolls into the area. After that, it's going to be a rather warm weekend as high pressure builds back in.
Alrighty, thank you, Mac. A puppy in Arizona tried on a new collar for size, but the poor baby actually got stuck. But here's a look at Zeus. He just wanted a new accessory, but the tire rims weren't meant to be worn. His head ended up getting stuck, but a firefighter was called to the rescue, and he was able to get free from that tight collar and performed a quick puppy medical exam. That's what the firefighter did, and Zeus is going to be just fine.
Oh, that's good.
So poor baby.
Worried about him, yeah.
Those dogs, when they're that puppy age, they're such troublemakers. Yeah.
I've got one.
Still?
Yeah. Still. Even.
Well, isn't he like 2 years old now?
He's still a puppy.
Yeah, basically. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10.
Join Carolina, meteorologist Parker Cox, 25 News Now, sunrise, 5 a.m. Good night.